Hello once again YouTube and welcome back to The Domain. This video title might seem like a shock to people out there in the community. It might not seem as much of a surprise for people who are following this closely, but I am no longer partnered with Mattel or Mega Bloks, and to be honest I haven't been for quite a while now, but I've just had no idea how to break the news or how to talk about it. You know, I have signed NDAs so I can't talk about classified information, but it's been so long and it's kind of this elephant in the room that I wanted to talk about openly, sharing only information that is publicly available. So first of all, I would try, if you're watching this and you've seen the title, and obviously I'm sure a lot of people are filled with disappointment and with frustration, and I think a lot of people will see this announcement as a sort of like a final nail in the coffin, right? Mega Bloks has not had a new Halo product for over a year, basically, and it has been total radio silence from the company, total radio silence from Mattel Toys, who own Mega Bloks. And for a fan of this IP, it has been incredibly frustrating and incredibly difficult to process, because Halo Mega Bloks, while seeming like this ridiculously stupid niche within a niche, like why would we care that much about a tiny collectible line that to most people means nothing? But for people that are in this community and for people that hold this community very dear to them, particularly with how intense and kind of messed up the world is right now, I think a lot of people seek solitude in this community and in this brand, and a lot of people do look at me as the leader or a leader of this community. There are so many incredible names that I can't even begin to list, and so many people that have built the foundations for this community. You know, it has been going now for over 15 years, but you know, in that time, things have changed dramatically, and like realistically, I am the only consistent YouTuber left in this space. And 2 years ago, when I announced that I was the brand ambassador for Mega and went to their studio and made a big glitz and glamour of it, I think you know, a lot of people saw some hope in that. Because even at that point, like, I thought I might arrive at their office and be told that it is game over and that they are folding, but I wasn't, and I left that week filled with optimism, but that didn't last, and I always get deadly paranoid after a few minutes that my microphone's actually recording. After that, it has been quite a downhill trajectory for this brand. And I am not sharing any, information that I'm not allowed to share in this video, but I've come with some notes. I want to go over everything that I'm feeling and everything that I've felt over the last couple of years. I hope you will come with me on that and try and understand like where we're coming from here. But I think, looping back round, a lot of people are going to feel very disappointed by seeing this video and feel that they had some hope that Halo Mega Bloks might still continue, this thing that they're so passionate about, but seeing that, you know, the domain has dropped out of partnership with Mega and Mattel, that there's nothing left to, you know, that is truly the sign that this is all over. And I understand that, but there is still a ton to be positive about in this community and in this space. I've talked many times before that even if the brand finishes, that this community will stay strong and will still look after each other. But at the same time, I haven't been partnered now with Mega and Mattel for quite a long time. I partnered with them for 2 years. I think it's quite publicly knowledgeable that nothing really came of that partnership front-facing, right? When I signed up in summer of 2023, fall of 2023, I announced immediately that there were going to be tons of behind-the-scenes videos, like documentary-style looks at how Mega makes Halo products, and interviews with tons of the designers, And the reality is that like a few videos came out. There were a couple of cool sneak peeks. I mean, we looked into the prototypes for FleetCom Warthog. That was cool. But like past that, nothing really came of it. And a year later, my contract was renewed with the promise of more videos, and absolutely none of them ever got released. And, you know, I have... I don't put any blame on Mega. I want to make that ridiculously clear throughout this video. I don't put any blame on Mega. When I first went to their office in 2023, I saw nothing but a passionate and talented team that adored the brand, that adored their mission. Tons, I mean, the legacy of people that worked at Mega, people that had been there for 20, 30 years and had like cradled the Halo line from its inception. I rode in cars with members of the team that were telling me that they watched all of mine and other people's videos and reviews to learn what they could do better. I had interviews with community members, community leads and directors that talked about how they listened to all the feedback, even the negative that's left on forums. Like, I saw an incredibly passionate team, and I met all my deadlines. Like, I submitted all my videos. They got lost in the ether. I think, you know, I can't comment on that particularly, but for me, for the longest time, I did sort of go inwards thinking that it was my fault and that a ton of my content wasn't good enough. And that is just simply not the case. I was never shown that or never indicated that at all. I think I essentially came on to make Halo videos at a time that Halo stopped being the priority. And it's incredibly challenging as a content creator, but also as someone that, like, I value my videos as my art, and seeing every single one of them, or not every single one, but the majority, like, I put 100 hours, and I'm being paid for this, right? But I put 100 hours into these videos, and no one gets to see them, and that is difficult to process. But I want to make it clear that I'm not frustrated. I'm not mad at Mega. I love their team. I'm not necessarily even frustrated at Mattel. I just think the influencer world, like the greater influencer world of working for these big companies, is just maybe not for me. I like to know what's happening with my content, and no disservice to anyone, but I didn't feel... I'm just a small player. I didn't feel important. I didn't feel like there was some, like, if we rewind to the fall of 2023 when I got the partnership, I'd moved back to the UK after living in Asia for 5 years, after traveling in America. I tried my hand a lot at paid partnerships and sponsorships and being an influencer, and I came back to the UK, and I was in a pretty dark place because I lost all of my friends that lived abroad, right? I didn't know anyone in the UK anymore. I'd moved back in with my parents, and like I was fine up until that point, making just the bare minimum to just keep this alive because I'm so passionate about it. I'm so passionate about this community, but I just couldn't see a way to move forward with it. Because ad revenue was just going down and down and down. And I contacted Jan, and I said, I need a break here, and I will give the biggest credit in the world to that man, that he actually stepped up. He got to the negotiating table with Mattel, and he got me in as the brand ambassador. And even a couple of weeks later, I was flying to Montreal to film all these videos, to then go to San Diego Comic-Con and film there. And when I arrived at Mega, I got the red carpet experience. Like, I got to see so many incredible prototypes of these toys. Everyone wanted to know my opinion, like really wanted to know what the community's pulse was. And I felt like it was an incredible opportunity. I'd never felt more alive than in that week that I was working at the studio. Yeah, I will always be grateful for the opportunity to have the partnership to begin with. Going forward, I have said for a long time, quite a long time now, probably a year, publicly, that I see this next move to be the final, most critical one. Next year is the anniversary of Halo, right? The 25th anniversary. It's a golden year. And it's not only the anniversary of Halo, it's the anniversary of Microsoft's Xbox, right? The original Xbox debuted with Halo. So I see this as one last opportunity. I know that Microsoft has a great partnership with Mattel, great relationship with Mega, and they love to celebrate anniversaries. They love to push new product. So we are a couple of weeks away from the month of greatness, where I think we're going to see, well, we pretty much know we're going to see the new Halo game announced, and it's very, very likely that it's a Combat Evolved remake for next year. That's what all the intel's telling us. So I've struggled so much to know what to do in this situation. I've struggled so much to be under NDA and sort of, you know, when you're contracted to work with a company, you have to talk positively about the company. That's just across the board. Universally agreed that, you know, if you enter into a year partnership with a company, you can't really talk negatively about the company. And that is challenging because I signed that contract in fall of 2023. And by spring of 2024, a few months later, they had deleted both of the websites, the megaconstricts.com archive of every single set and asset, and the Mega Unboxed forum. And now, myself and the team are dedicated to pulling all that information back and creating an internet archive of this product. And straight after, a few months after I signed my partnership, mass layoffs, and this is publicly known, mass layoffs at Mega, mass layoffs at Mattel. This year, there's been more layoffs. Next year, I mean, how do you have successive year after year layoffs and still keep it going? Because if you lay off, say, 100 people, everybody else has to take on that 100 people's work. And these layoffs came alongside Mega Bloks losing the license for Pokemon. And I've tried to voice my opinion as much as I can, but I think it's really important that we don't come across as a toxic community. I think it's really important that we don't I thought for the longest time, like, it's really important that we stay positive. And to be honest, I think that is also just for, like, every person that's, not just me, but like every person that's involved in this community. The second we turn our back on mass, the community just falls apart. And, you know, say what you want about me. I would like to think that I've tried my absolute hardest to keep this community alive and exciting and special. We have the Toymation running up until the spring of next year. We've got a non-profit trading card series of all different of our favorite creators using Mega Bloks products. And I am more excited than ever creating this archive of all of the information. But now I'm looking at these layoffs year on year and I'm like, am I gonna have to start making an archive for Mega Bloks? Like, what's going on? The thing that, like, gets me a little bit sometimes is when, so Mattel Brick Shop, right? I see that as probably a net positive for Mattel and maybe Mega Bloks Health. Even if Mattel Brick Shop replaces parts of Mega, that's still the team at Mega working on Mattel Brick Shop. It's still keeping them employed. And maybe we do need a fresh lick of paint. Maybe we do need to launch a Mattel Brick Shop Halo partnership. But what does that look like? Is it the same scale? Is it the same kind of products? Is it the minifigures still? And please, please forgive the crude title, but I've been kind of reading this book at the minute, and it's taught me a lot. It's kind of reaffirmed a lot of the points I already had, that everything in life is like what you make of it. And I could be disappointed with the partnership that happened between me and Mega, me and Mattel and I, but or I could take the experiences and I could move forward in a positive light. And that's all I'm ever trying to do, so it doesn't crush my soul. And, again, I'm not talking negatively about the partnership necessarily between Mega and Mattel and I. I'm scared of making these videos because I don't want to be critical. But at the same time, I'm not revealing any behind-the-scenes information here. It's been publicly known that I was, conscripted to make these videos, and it's publicly available information that none of these videos got released. And now I would like to officially put Mattel Toys on notice. I have dedicated basically half of my life to trying to showcase your products in the best light possible. And to be fair, trying to make you as much money as possible. You have got, or had, because I think it's been pretty torched over the last year, but you had one of the greatest communities that exists in collectibles. One of the most die-hard dedicated communities that just adore every single thing about your products. I have made over 1,000 videos. I've talked about your products for probably 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours, that's not accurate. Whatever. I'm trying to do some quick math. I've basically, I have given so much, and I've done it by choice, right? I love this job and so much of what it gives me, but I've done this out of the love for two things: these products, because I think they are genuinely the greatest minifigures on the planet, and this community, because this community has given me so much, and I know how much it means to people, and I want people to continue loving this community. So I put you on notice very nervously. Even after all this, even after the Halo Mega Bloks line seems to have been stripped away and almost disappeared by all of the websites being deleted, by it basically not being available to even search on your websites or find in your catalogs, and with layoffs after layoffs at Mega Bloks, and the launch of Mattel Brick Shop with no acknowledgement of your past. Going back to what I was saying, I never finished my point. One of the things that kind of triggers me is, and it's brilliant marketing in some ways, but it triggers me that the Mattel Brick Shop Instagram launches, and so many news articles are publicizing that Mattel has entered the brick stratosphere, the brick ecosystem. They're having a go. They're going for Lego, and it's dog, they've owned Mega Bloks since 2017 or something. Mega Bloks is a legacy name. It's a legacy name out of Canada. These designers at Mega Bloks, they can't really easily find a job elsewhere. This studio matters. And we're looking at potentially the whole thing being shut down. Are you going to have a mention to Mega Bloks? Or if Mega Bloks is deleted, do you just strip it away, get rid of it on your website, and act like Mattel Brick Shop was always the plan? I have and will continue to be a defender of yours, but only until the end of this year. I'm going to continue making products about Mega Bloks and about Halo Mega Bloks and defending it and helping build back the archive for as long as I physically can. I adore it. I love making videos. Always have, always will. But right now, we need to see something. Like, give this community anything. Because we have supported you incredibly loyally, and I still do, for all of this time. And I don't hold any negative feelings towards how that 2 years went with my partnership, because I'm so grateful for what it did provide. But at the same time, I don't care about my partnership. I just want to see some recognition of Mega Bloks, or some announcement, right? Like, there's a good chance that we get an announcement of some Halo Mega Bloks, Halo Mattel Brickshop partnership, alongside the reveal of the new Halo games and the future of Halo at the end of this month. But we need to see something. Like, in this grand picture, I don't matter, but Mega Bloks matters, and this community matters. And I'll continue, I'll be your biggest champion for Mattel Brickshop. I swear, I'll support you. But it kind of just feels like Mega Bloks and Halo have been left behind. And there was a time where Halo Mega Bloks must have been your one of your highest selling IPs. Before Pokemon, I mean. It shifted millions of units back in the day, and it could again. At the end of the day, when the second year partnership was over, there was obviously no third year partnership offered. But at the same time, I really do believe that if a third one had been offered, I wouldn't have accepted, unless it was, to revive the brand or whatever. If you ever, like I said, if there's ever if Halo Mega Bloks ever comes back, or Halo Mattel Brickshop ever comes back, hit me up. I will do all the promotional work possible. But I have got to the point now where I'm months and months out of the end of my contract, and I have not said anything here that is not publicly available information, and I can just see that the Halo Mega Bloks line has had no updates, radio silence, no acknowledgement whatsoever. Mattel Brickshop launches, 2 very big success, but we need something else. So this has been Halo Boy. This terrifies me, but I really do want. I really do hope that this doesn't dampen people's spirits. And as always, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support. And I have some really epic videos coming out when I go to the Halo World Championship. And who knows, we might be a couple of weeks out of greatness, but I wanted to say all this before the Halo World Championship, because this is how it stands. And if we see something that changes the course of history, then I want to be the first person on that train to just ride it into oblivion and promote it and praise it as much as possible. But I think I deserve to just say my piece and be honest without hopefully stepping on anyone's toes. So really do appreciate it. Keep on saying that. Still don't know how to end this video. I'm going to sign off now. I've come to realize, a lot of people, particularly when I first moved back to England, so many people were telling me that I should move on, and that maybe, particularly when things weren't going well with the brand, that maybe I needed to just get a clean slate and do something else with my life. And like, I was being gently pushed by my parents. Bless them, they support me so much, but gently pushed to explore other career paths and to get a full-time job. But the reality is, when I saw that the websites were being closed, and I don't mean this, I don't ever want to sound big-headed, but I am the only person in the world, it seems, that has the resources and the passion and the time to pool everyone together and commit to the archive. Because since we've done that, we have seen, like, we're going to have a fully functioning archive spring of next year, most likely. And being full-time has just given me the time to research and pull everything together. Having this as my income stream has made me able to invest in all the stuff to be able to make archival videos. It's all been wonderful, and I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful. But I'm putting Mattel on notice. There has to be something that changes. There has to be some road forward that we need to see. All right. Bless you all. Signing out.